Hello.
I'm looking for the young Stephen Rapp.
You've got it. This is the witness protection program. How may I direct your call?
Apparently he has some numbers that we're interested in today. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. First of all, that golf thing is hysterical. I played with it. I played a lot of guys like that. I personally don't like playing with guys like that.
It's hard. It's hard to play with guys like that because I used to kind of be like that, and people are like, "Are you going to golf this weekend?" Because
yeah, it gets uncomfortable. I mean, guy was hitting an iron and off the tee. He dusted. He smacked his bag, and he goes to rehit, pulls out his driver, it snapped in half, pulls out his 3-wood, it snapped in half. And he just had to laugh with the guy. But I realized a long time ago that I'm not ever going to be good at the game. And basically my move, and everybody laughs, is I just walk away swearing and talking to myself, "Hey, motherfucker, just mumbling to myself as I walk off the green or something. I don't inflict it on anybody else.
You won't do it this year, Stephen, with new clubs, though. You're shooting 70s, right?
No, wait. I took the new clubs to an indoor simulator, and somebody asked me how I hit them, and I went, "It's early."
Well, Stephen, this is the time of the year, as you get also a little closer to the Masters, there's a lot of pools, there's a lot of numbers, and because Tiger has flirted with being in that top 10, and there's, anytime he's in it, even still, people are kind of hoping, so it gets people sort of leaning a little bit, as we talk about sports interaction, on playing golf, and sometimes the numbers people aren't quite understanding if they've never bet on golf before.
Yeah, if you look at Tiger Woods for the Masters, and that's been the one that everybody's talked about him. You could have got Tiger, and it's been talked about over and over and over, right? And you could have got him at a 50 or 60 to 1 a couple months ago. And as he's been playing and as he's looked better, that has been dropping down to, he's about the third pick right now at 7 to 1. Now, what is he ranked now? 75th in the world, 120th in the world, something about around there. It's just no value on a guy like Tiger Woods, who, don't get me wrong, and if you listen to our show, Inside Sports Interactions Inside the Lines on Sunday, he could win a major. He's going to win a tournament, but at 7 to 1, based on his track record in the last 2 years, there's no value on Tiger at 7 to 1. You're going to want to look elsewhere. Something in the 20, 23, 25 to 1. I think Phil's around 18 to 1. A guy like Patrick Cantley, a guy like Paul Casey, Justin Rose always does well. So you're looking for value in your future bets for the Masters.
Now, when it comes to the World Golf Championship, it is match play. So, in terms of betting, I think it's almost a little, I don't want to say easier, but at least you can look at the two guys, their skill set, and sort of decide whether you think it's worth the money or not. Is there anything on the board right now in Sports Interaction with the WGC down in Austin? Do you like any of these matchups?
Yeah, I think I do. It's a lot of fun. Well, I'm on 3 guys to win the tournament outright. So, and all 3 of my guys right now are 2-0. I'm on Alex Noren, Paul Casey, and Patrick Reed. Big match for Patrick Reed today. He's playing Spieth. Both of them are 2-0. Reed's plus 109 right now. He's a dog in this matchup, playing just as good or better than Spieth right now. So I think there's maybe some value on Patrick Reed in a winner take all in that group. Francisco Molinari plus 152 to Justin Thomas looks like value. Both are 2-0, both going for the win. No reason that taking a big dog in Molinari plus 152. And this is what I like for a different. Rafa Barabello playing Phil Mickelson today. Howell will win that group. Both these guys basically have very little chance to win the group. Bella might like beating Phil. Bella might like beating Phil more than Phil really cares. Phil's now just going to play to get his game tuned for the Masters. And, you've got Bella as a dog right now. He's about even money, I guess. So that's one of the ones I'm looking at as well. Lots of fun playing these matchups. This is a great way. It's like betting on football but watching golf.
And, I was just going to ask you about that, Stephen. So when you're comparing this to a regular tournament that most people see on a weekend basis, is there something you prefer? Do you like the match play thrown in every once in a while, every couple of months they have a tournament like this, or would you rather not have this?
Oh, no, every once in a while it is, because if you're either betting to win in a regular tournament And they do have matchups, absolutely have matchups, but those two guys are just on the golf course playing their own ball, playing against themselves, and basically trying to get the best score possible. Where in these matchups, when you're watching it on TV, it's focused on the matchup you're watching on TV. It's watching the game. So, yeah, this is from a betting perspective, day to day, sitting around watching golf. This is I far prefer this. Obviously, you're going to make the bigger money playing the futures on guys, 20, 25, 30 to 1. From a lottery ticket standpoint, that's more exciting.
Let's talk March Madness. We're breaking it down. We have a couple teams or 4 teams that moved into the Elite Eight. Do you have any numbers for us for tonight's matchups going into the weekend, and maybe a team or two that you might like, considering there's been so many upsets that's happened in this tournament?
Oh, absolutely, and this has been a favorite and public's nightmare. All 4 games last night, all 4 teams getting less than 50% of the bet went 4-0. So if you're fading the public, you had a huge night last night, and you've had a huge night in this tournament. It's been a dog tournament, and it's been an under tournament. So looking at tonight, you got West Virginia taking less than 30% of the bets versus Villanova. But even though Villanova's taken all that public money, about 70% of the money, this number stays at -5. Villanova a 5-point favorite. So I'm thinking West Virginia is definitely the sharp side there. They're taking more money, less tickets for more money. So if you're gonna fade the public again, West Virginia would be your play. Also, beware the trendy dogs. Syracuse is getting 55% of the money over Duke. Questions about whether Syracuse should be here or not. So you got Duke laying 11.5. You might want to fade the public. I mean, when a public bets a dog, never a good thing. Maybe fade the dog with fade public and go with Syracuse. And also one betting total, the Clemson-Kansas game. They're betting that game over, but the number has gone from 143 to 142.5. Tells us that the under is the sharp play here. And unders hitting 31 and 21 for the tournament. That's 60% for the unders. So just a little March Madness numbers. Listen, there are a lot of guys out there, a lot better than the 3 of us, who are handicapping this stuff. So, I mean, anything can happen. You see that every night. I just like going with the numbers, going with where the sharp money is, and just reading what the odds makers are doing, because they're a hell of a lot smarter than any of us.
Well, and I will tell you, I like your thinking there, too, because the under on a couple of these games I certainly like. I mean, when you start taking a look at those numbers, like Kansas and Clemson, at some point Clemson will come down to earth. And I don't think I think that game's an under. I also think that Syracuse-Duke, that just reeks of an under to me. Even though it's 133, Syracuse does not put up a lot of points. They're one of the teams I didn't think would be here. They're going to play that 2-3 zone. Duke might be able to cover that number. In fact, I know a lot of people are in love with taking +11. I'd be very careful with that pick. Pick. Because Duke is more.
You're right about the under.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Duke is more than capable of covering the 11, but I just don't think that they're going to go off and score 70, 80 points. Therefore, I take a look at that 133, and it smells under to me.
Yeah, Duke, when they get ahead, they take the air out of the ball in the second half. I mean, Coach K just kills the time, kills the clock. Yeah, and listen, when the public is on a dog against a team like Duke, a team that should not be there, this one smells of just kind of a Duke runaway, taking the air out of the ball, and just maybe a favorite and an under here.
Hey, Stephen, thanks so much for joining us today. Always a pleasure, and hopefully we'll catch up with you again real soon.
I look forward to it, and I look forward to getting on the golf course with you, because I want to see some of that club throwing. Because, I mean, last time I saw somebody throw a club, they almost took an old lady's head off. It was really fun to watch. So, entertaining.
I think you and I probably speak the same language of the golf course. That's all I'm saying. I think the language is similar.
we can just all mumble to each other under a tree somewhere.
Exactly. Take care, my friend.
Buddy. See you later, guys.
That is Stephen Rapp from Sports Interaction joining us here this morning, and I do like some of the Victor Newman's going to come in and give some of his picks shortly.
Okay.
And, I think he agrees on some of those picks about Stephen.
What? We just become best friends? Yep.